All right, deer hunters, I know you're asking yourselves the same question I am. When does the rut start? Is it time to get out there? Is it time to finally take a few days off of work and get out into the woods? Well, today we're going to answer that question for you. As deer hunters, we know that bucks don't move during the summer. I mean, yeah, they're out there a little bit, but they're really not moving around. You can set your trail cameras up, you can look for them, you can try to go out and push them and jump them. You're just not really going to find them, and it's not because they all look like does. It's not because their antlers haven't grown yet. They're just hunkering down. They're not moving that much. But then the fall hits, it gets a little chilly, you wake up that morning and you're like, oh man, it's starting to feel a little bit like hunting season. That's when you get excited, you're ready to go, you're ready to get out there, but the deer are not exactly out yet. At least the bucks are not moving yet. After a couple days of that, when we're in mid-October more or less, you start seeing more activity. And I've got my trail cameras out there showing it. So I've got a timeline for us, and we can look at exactly when they start moving, exactly when the rut really begins. Now, I do apologize for the lack of quality with some of these videos. I still use some spy point cameras that I have. They suck. Spy point quality is just not up to par. The video and the audio, and you will see that with some of this footage, but the information that we need is there. The time and date are accurate. We can see if it's a doe, we can see if it's a buck, we can see if it's a squirrel. So let's take a look at what we got so far. And if we take a look at the history with some of these cameras, we see that some of this activity starts to pick up in the middle of October. About October 15th, you're going to see a little more movement. You're going to see them come out, start sniffing around. You can see it in their behavior. This buck is coming out and after this doe, not aggressively, but he definitely wants to know what's going on. He's definitely interested. He can feel that something's going on. And then sure enough, after a few weeks, we see more movement. This video just shows a buck chasing a doe. It's one of the first signs that I have definitively, hey, there's a doe, let me go get it. We also see other things that happen during the rut. Other rut behavior, like sizing up the competition. These two guys startle each other. They jump up. They're definitely not about to go at it and really aggressive, but they're wary of each other. They're going, yo, what's going on? What are you doing here? And they're probably out expecting does and expecting competition. This 8-pointer has one of its antlers hanging off the side of its head. It just got into a fight with another buck. It must have. If it was hit by a car, it would have been limping. Something else would have been going on with this buck. I've seen a lot of bucks that have been hit by cars in this area. Older bucks, they usually have one side of their rack really nice and one side has next to nothing growing. They've got basically half a rack. It's kind of strange. And then they've got a limp. And it's really obvious when you see these deer. But in this case, this guy looks really healthy. He's just got half hanging off and like dripping down the side of his face. He was just in a fight with another deer. This guy's leaving a scent rub on some branches. This is an actively used trail. I see deer on here all the time. In the summer, it's mostly does and fawns. In the fall, it picks up, and there's a lot of bucks coming through because they're looking for those does. And this guy's on the trail, leaving his mark behind so other bucks know he's in the area. And here, there's a buck walking right down the trail in the middle of the day. He feels the need to move, and that's why you don't see it all summer long. You'll get some things, you'll get some activity. They have to eat, they have to move a little bit, but the amount of activity just jumps once that rut hits. These are actually just some still shots. I have 4 shots in a row. It's 2 shots of a doe and 2 shots of a buck. They're separated by 15 minutes. This buck is actively looking for this doe. He can tell that she was just there, and he's walking down the same path. Maybe not sprinting, but he's there because of her. Now let's take a look at some of these dates. October 30th through November 4th is when all of this starts to occur. That's a 5-day window. And to make it easy, you can just say November 1st. Now the rut itself only lasts for a few weeks, maybe a month. So you're looking at the entire month of November as your best chance, and realistically, it's probably the first few weeks in that month, 2 or 3 weeks. I know there's a secondary rut. I know that there's still activity later on, but November 1st is going to be your best chance. If you've got to take a few days off and you're limited in time, you got to sit out in the woods for a while, that's the time to do it, November 1st. So depending on your regulations, there might be a rifle season, there might be a bow season, but you got to find a way to get out there, and get out there now. Today is November 7th when I'm making this video. I just picked these cameras up. I will be out there this weekend. I'm getting up early, and I'm going to get out to these spots because I know that now's the time to be there. This has been Wildscape Outdoors. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. You can also check out our other videos by clicking on the channel name below.